The pull to organize is so strong for recipe organization. I know it is the most riveting subject ever. The 3 boxes on this bottom shelf are going to be reduced into 2 binders, and we'll declutter a few more of the books as well. Hi everyone. So this is 7th day of the flu, and I am getting better. Sound a little bit raspy, but even when you are recovering from the flu, you are ready to get something done. I thrifted these 2 binders for 50 cents each from our local thrift store and ordered my sleeves, 1-sheeters, 1 sheets, single sheets. That almost sounded like a curse word. 1 sheet. Those for 3x5 cards and those for 4x6 cards. We'll see if we have enough. My intent is to make this for desserts and this for everything else. Now the question is, will all the desserts fit in here? Because I come from a family who loves desserts. So we shall see. I also am decluttering a few things. So I had recipes in here. I've already gone through them and pulled out what I think I'm going to keep. I had 3x5 cards in here and pulled out what I think I'm going to keep. And I had this box, which is like a photo box that came from my mom and dad's house after my dad passed away. And so I've gone through those. I have a pile of declutter. I have a few recipe books that I'm decluttering. And I've asked my husband if he has any of his recipe books that he'll declutter. We'll see. He is a little bit more attached to those type of things than I am. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be harder because seeing my mom's handwriting or my grandmother's handwriting, but what I found is my mom like duplicated recipes. Like she hand wrote them on the 3x5 cards and duplicated them. So there might be 2 or 3 of the same kind when I already know I have a version of it. So it was not as hard for me to decide which ones to get rid of and which not. I know by the end of this, I'm gonna have a lot more room in that cabinet that has my recipe books in them, just because I don't have 3 separate boxes taking up so much space. So that's my plan. I don't know if I'll get through it all right now, but we're going to give it a try. And I think I'm going to go for the dessert one because I may need to buy some more of the 3x5 card inserts. And this will give me an idea if I need that or not. So, 25 cents. I thought I paid 50 cents. Maybe I paid 50 cents for the big one. These protector sheets are all different brands and did come from Amazon. My mother had magic powers. She could cook, get everything on the table hot at one time. I thought that was miraculous. Once I moved out from home and had to figure that out, it was a little bit rough. Mom didn't let us too much in the kitchen while she was cooking a meal because she had it timed great. But she let us in the kitchen to bake desserts. So that's where we learned how to bake, learned how to measure, learned our skills. Now that didn't help us with main dishes once we moved out of the house, but it was a good foundation. So to honor that, we're gonna start with desserts first. So while going through all of the recipes, I found some old cookbooks. This is Josky's, which was a department store from 1982. I just love the way these look, but I flipped through them and honestly, the recipes, I just won't use them. So I will donate these to our local thrift shop and let them have a second life there. So this is a stack of 3x5s that I have, and I will sort them. I'm not gonna put dividers in here until I'm kind of done sorting, but I will sort them into like cookies and pies and bars and things like that. I know there are some savory recipes in here that will go in the other binder. But this first card that came up was 5 tips to a happy marriage. So look not for perfection in your mate. You will not find it. And it's just as well, living with a saint could be very tiresome. My grandmother wrote this out. I'm sure she got it from a magazine or something. Number 2, let your love be stronger than your hate or anger. Number 3, learn the wisdom of compromise, for it is better to bend a little than to break. Believe the best rather than the worst. People have a way of living up or down to your opinion of them. Wow, it's heavy and it's real. Remember that true friendship is the basis of any lasting relationship. The person you choose to marry is deserving of the courtesies and kindness you bestow upon your friends. That's gonna go in the front page because I've always had it at the front of my recipe box or on my refrigerator. So it's gonna go in the front. I'm not gonna make you watch while I insert all of this. The dessert one actually is not as full as I thought it was going to be. I think I'm good. I'm gonna add dividers for cakes and pies and cookies. And then I have my ice cream booklet in the front, as well as a recipe I haven't tried yet. And I think this one will be done. I still have this to put into the Savory Cookbook as well as these cards. So I didn't have as much as I thought I was going to have after I decluttered, which is, I guess, a good thing. It is a little slow going, not gonna lie, but I'll feel better once it's all done. So I think I'm gonna put them in sleeves first, and then worry about putting them in the book. I'm going to categorize them. I need to blend these in with these, and then I think that'll make it more in a logical order. This is really a boring subject for y'all. Hopefully, instead of just watching, you've grabbed some of your cookbooks or you've grabbed some of your recipes and go along with me. Then you're being a little productive. I'm being productive. Do you have a favorite recipe? My mom was known for her pecan pies, and the joke was, mostly by my brother-in-law, that sometimes at Thanksgiving or Christmas, you might find an extra gift in the pecan pie. And that extra gift might be a pecan shell. But she was well known for her pecan pies. And our little wiener dog ate half a pecan pie one time because she had it too low to the ground. She had it sitting on top of an ice chest. And our dog didn't know any better, right? We weren't even in the same room. And yeah, I feel for her because the amount of effort it takes to make a pie to only be half eaten by a dog. One she loved, but she still wanted that for us. It was a good memory after the fact. So cinnamon rolls, biscuits, cornbread. So we're gonna have bread, we're gonna have veggies. Pancakes is bread, hot rolls is bread. This white sauce recipe I have is phenomenal. And I got it off of the PBS station like back in the 80s. And I have held on to this sauce recipe, and it is a good staple. Really good one to have. Okay, so we're gonna do veggies, and then we will do meat. That's a veggie. This is a condiment. Veggie. That's a side dish. Bread. Okay, this is a soup and chili. We'll put those together. I typically said I double it, and I like it. So that's a keto white chicken chili. This is, I want to put this with condiments because it's dressings and taco seasoning. This is a soup. This is a condiment. So my husband printed off a bunch bunch of barbecue sauces, and so they are going to be in a separate section for him for condiments. Jam I have right here. Bread, that's a barbecue sauce. Jam. Pickles. So maybe I can do pickling and canning just all in one section. So I'm gonna keep this pickle. It's an 8-day sweet pickle recipe, which is another one of our favorites. And the last time I made those, my dad and my mother-in-law helped. So, yeah. Beer bread recipe, thanks to my brother-in-law. Punch. I don't have a drink pile, so we'll start. Wassail. Fire cider. Soup. We love our soups. That's a side dish. Brussels sprouts, broccoli salad, chicken, boudin recipe, garlic chicken, cheesy sausage puffs. It's almost like an appetizer. Soup, main dish, balsamic short ribs, another favorite crock-pot recipe. It is so yummy. Wow, I thought I'd have a lot more than this. Okay, so sorting done. Now I am going to put them into the sleeves and put them into the binder. And look how much space that was taking up. I think we make projects bigger in our heads than they are in reality. Anyone else guilty of that? Yeah, this was bigger in my head. It does get messier before it gets better. I'm just going to print some cover sheets for here and for the edging of the binder. This is my dessert one. I went ahead and put extra sheets in the back so I can grow with them on both of these binders. And I've got my dividers in. And one thing I want to call out on the dividers is these are Avery product dividers, and they are smaller than the sheets. So that's why you can't see the other ones behind it. It does not bother me. I'm not going to be a perfectionist. I will be flipping through anyway to get the dividers, and it's fine. The dividers I ended up with were appetizers, breads, drinks, side dishes, main dishes, soups, miscellaneous, and canning. And then in the desserts, I did breads, cookies, cakes, pies, pecans. Pecans has its own category. Fruit for fruit salads, and then miscellaneous, which includes like brandy balls and brownies and things like that, because I don't do a lot of those. My two binders, these are extras, sleeves in this cardboard, and then this is my planting stuff. I need another binder for those, so that'll be future. This is what I'm decluttering. This box right here, I'm going to see if my brother or sister want it, and I kept some of my mother and grandmother's recipes in there for them, or to see if some cousins want it. And then this is what I'm decluttering. So not too shabby for feeling unwell and Saturday afternoon. My husband's recipe books used to be in this top shelf. Well, husband went through his books and he's decluttering 5, so progress. So let me walk you over to the cabinet over here. So now all of his books are on this bottom shelf, so hopefully he can access them and use them more. My 2 binders here, which this one doesn't allow for an edge piece label to go on there, but I'll figure something out. Those basically were everything that was down here. So that's the efficiency gain that I got. And this is what that cabinet looks like now. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you're some kind of special, because it takes a lot to enjoy organizing this. Thanks for sticking with me while I've been sick. And as my dad always closed his phone calls, bye for now.